What kind of clothes, hobby, slang, what was popular back in your teenage years? Do you remember any of those types of things?
Well, it seemed like I wore Levi's all my life. One time, the fad was making weird hats, getting buttons and different things and sticking them on, and then
So what you're saying, like, is taking a lot of buttons and making a hat?
like pins or whatever, weird hats. That was kind of going at one time. Yo-yos. Yeah, I remember having a yo-yo, and I could spin it around and do a few things with it. Marbles. That's marbles. You'd go out on recess noon, or come early, and you'd play, and you'd make a little square, and then you'd put your marble, or maybe two each. What depends on how many. There might be 3 or 4, or they'd make a circle and put them in the circle if you could knock them out. And I might still out in the shed have a bucket full of marbles. I won. I'd borrow. Sometimes I didn't have any. I'd borrow marble too and win a bunch, pay them back, and I just remember I'd done pretty good on marbles.
Grandma said you was a great marble shooter.
So where would these marbles be if you passed away that we would know?
Out in the garage on those shelves.
Up on...
Somewhere in there, unless I don't know if I give them away to any of the kids.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen them for a while, but I had them since we moved here.
Mom, how about yourself? Is it the same things or different?
I remember wearing like poodle-type skirts with great big, fluffy skirts, petticoats underneath that just stick way out, and I loved that look.
They were
quite short. They looked just like a poodle skirt, only they had these big, fluffy skirts.
Were you able to wear them going to school?
Oh, yes, we did.
Now, any terminology like slang using that you remember growing up that was the cool word to say, or?
No, but I remember being teased sometimes as I'd walk to school. Red on the head. I'd rather be dead than caught red on the head. So one day I was in the school play, and I was little Mammy Yoakum, and I took some carbon paper and I went like this all over to make my hair black, and I had black hair then instead of red hair.
Any sports activities, plays that you were in?
Well, I was in choir, and we put on a play. I think all 3 years I was in.
Oliver.
Well, the Desert Foxes musicals. We usually, of course, I was in the choir, no special parts, but yeah, I had that. But I played football, but what I ended up being the best of was I started to run in the mile in high school. That's before you even worried about training like they do now. And the coach, the football coach, Hebe Whiting, he just says, anybody that can run the mile in 6 minutes or under will get an A. First time I ever tried it, I got my A. That was one of my easier A's.
He worked hard because that was his best way to get his A.
So did you end up going out on the track team?
Oh, yeah. I got to go to state my senior year because when I got to be a senior, of course, there was nobody in North Cache that could beat me, But I took, I think like Christy, took 7th place, and they only medaled up to 6. And Nikki done that running the mile too when she went on track. So yeah, I like to say if I had known a little bit what they do now to train for it, what you eat and how you work out, and so anyway, I enjoyed playing sports.
Mom, any sports or?
I loved sports in school.
Watching or playing?
Playing. I loved archery, and I was pretty good at it. But I was probably the best at swimming of anything, And I got my lifeguarding, and then I was able during the summer, that was one of my jobs. I taught the littler kids swimming. We had swimming lessons.
Did they have a
school.
swim team back then?
They didn't have a swim team, but
You had a
we
swimming
got our
pool.
driver's license. We got our swimming license. I could have been a lifeguard anywhere, but I chose to teach over at Logan High, the kids that were on up, and that was really fun. I did that for several years. We played badminton a lot as a child.
Who was your guys' first crush?
Well, I might be Joyce West. I had a date with her health day, and I think I walked her down to the show and walked her home again. And that's when you know her.
Did you get a good night kiss?
No, we didn't. I think she probably was the first one I had a date to go to the show with. It was just walking down and back, and all the concessions come to town on Health Day in Smithfield there. So
Was you nervous to ask her?
who can remember? I probably wasn't too nervous about anything back then.
Mom, your first crush?
In 6th grade, I remember his last name was Lewis, and I had such a crush on him. And when we had the swing fling, it's where they had a pole and they had all kinds of ribbons come down and you'd wind them in and out. It was a spring fling dance. He got to be...
Is that the maple pole?
Yeah, the maple pole. In one of those dances, he got to be right next to me, and I just about died and went to heaven.
Where did you guys hang out in high school?
Well, we'd go to Logan a lot of times, or hire them to the dance on Saturday. And I spent a lot of time good to get down to the show. Or
No, so was those dances in Hiram, were they outside or inside?
no, it's Elite Hall, and there was an article came out about it. It's one of the only at that time dance floors with springs under it, and you can. There was a guy.
Vibrated.
There was a guy not married, and he always come and he jitterbug right on the one side or corner of it. You just get close to him and that gal, and it just had it vibrating. And they want to redo it again, and it's talking about in the paper about a month ago on raising money and getting
Great dance
a lot
floor.
for years and years and years. People's gone over there to dance.
Because it kind of let you bounce. It was real easy on your legs.
Yeah, be easier on your legs too with that springs under it.
Yeah, I liked that place too.
So, Mom, same question. Any place that you hung out in high school?
I dated a lot of college guys in high school, so I kind of missed out on dating the high school boys. We went to a lot of dances. We did a lot of swimming. Hiked a lot.
What was your favorite toy as a child in your childhood years?
All I remember is Christmas of getting one thing for Christmas. One was a little red wagon, I think. Oh, I got a Rector set, I think, too. But that's about all.
What's a Rector set?
That's where you, like a Lego set, only it's nuts and bolts and holes.
But it would move like a crane.
Well, yeah, if you could get a motor for them and put them. But I proved I wasn't too good at that, I guess, because I don't remember doing much of that.
I think my favoriteest toy, and I remember growing up, Mother would take us uptown, and there was a hardware place that had all these beautiful dolls. And she'd take me over and show me all these beautiful dolls, and the one I wanted was the little black baby. And she would never give me a little black baby. But the toy, I think the toy I liked the very best was my Alice in Wonderland doll with a little cedar chest that my dad had built. A little square cedar chest. I got that one Christmas, and oh, I loved that.
What was Christmas like for you guys growing up?
I can't remember much of Christmas. I was the oldest, And my brother Bill, he was 5.5 years younger than me, and then Catherine, she was another 5.5 years after Billy came. So I just don't, like I said, I remember the wagon, the erector set, and I think I was alone, the only child at that. Oh, I got a little small chair, I remember too. And if I got clothes, you know, I guess I don't remember, but that was just coming out of the Depression. And I grew up not knowing we was really poor. A lot of people suffered. Dad had the job. He always had a job. He worked in a Ford garage there, and then he took over a Conoco service station. That's what I remember. And he spent over 20 years running that Conoco service station.
Whatever happened to that station?
Well, it's
still there.
well, they tore that down and built another one that's right across, kitty corner from Smithfield Implement. It would be on the northeast corner there. I think they have a car lot there.
Right across north of that blooming place.
Did Grandpa have to sell it, or
Well,
did
the Conoco company was owned it.
Oh, okay.
So he just got his percentage out of what he sold there, is how that worked. It wasn't his building, but so yeah, that's
All holidays in my family were big, huge things. My dad was a holiday person. This come from his mother. She was a holiday person. And Christmas was probably the best. We'd practice for 3 months on a little play that we was going to put on that all of my cousins would come to our house. And we'd all have the dinner there, but we'd all have the special little play that we'd put on. And every year we had parts that we had to learn, and we'd practice 3 months ahead, and then we'd open the presents. But when before the play, we'd put on a little program, and always my dad and I would play harmonicas.
You miss that?
I should go back and learn to play it, because I could have used it in the mission field.
yeah. They had a little band there.
Yeah.
People come and play all different instruments, and
And the
they
harmonica.
practiced at least once a week
Yeah, they
in the
did.
mission field.
All right, 2 questions. What attracted to you each other, and how did you guys meet?
Okay, I was divorced, living in Smithfield with Mother and Dad and Catherine.
But your divorce wasn't final.
And anyway, Mother wanted me to go to her wedding reception with her, so I got my suit on and went with her. And when we come home, I put my pajamas on and was watching television, and my sister and her girlfriend had been walking around over in the park, and she came home and she said, "Get some clothes on you. There's a cute little redhead I want you to see." And that's over in the Tabernacle there in Smithfield Park there. And so Catherine comes with me, and so they had the big double doors there, and I was on the south side, and sister's on the other side, and it was they have a married couple
A dance.
at the dance, and you got to have just like a temple recommended. You got to go to the bishop and to say, "I'm not married. I'm a widow or a widower or divorced." And so, anyway, I was talking to the guy there, and just then, Pat came over and said, "Would you like to dance?" And I says, "No, I can't yet." And she seen my sister there. She thought I had a date. Anyway, as soon as divorce was final, I went there, and my aunt Winnie took me around and introduced to me all the girls there, and there was a bunch of them there. There was a big bunch.
Lot to choose from, huh?
Yeah, so let's see, probably we finally had a date to go to an Aggie football game.
I'll tell you the rest of the story. So that was my first night at the dance hall, and I had met some girls that had lost their husbands, and we did all kinds of things together, and we decided to go to this dance. Well, my girlfriend really liked Eddie. She she really took to him, and so I said, okay, I'll drive you up to Preston. I found out through my grandma, because his mother and grandma just lived through the lots, his mother and my grandmother. But I found out that he worked at the bowling alley at night. So I said, I'll drive you up there to see him. So we get in the car and we drive up to see Eddie. And then 2 or 3 nights later, instead of her getting asked out, he asked me out.
I liked a little redhead. Cute little redhead, Kathy.
I was little then.
What was your wedding like? Well, actually, we already asked that question, so let's skip that one.
That
Okay.
was, yeah.
So we went to
Smoke,
Park City and
smoking
smoke, and so we can skip that one as we hit that one. So let's take a break here, and then we'll pick it up in a bit.